Oh, this stupid thing. Come on. Come on. Oh, freaking work. Come on.
And now, coming to you from the classiest radio station
What
on the
the
air,
hell?
this is
The Offensive Content Podcast.
Brand new banger.
The clothes hanger add-on just pops out of the wheelchair.
Remember, ladies, one must not get one's knickers in a twist.
I have 3 knives and a gun on me, so I'm not afraid.
Holy shit, this is getting real. Here it comes.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the Offensive Content Podcast. Episode 4. Episode 3 was kind of a bomb.
No.
Wah, wah. Not actually, just kidding. It actually turned out pretty good. A lot better than we thought it was going to when we initially recorded it. Social media is going great right now. We're getting some followers on Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. How's Twitter doing, Ty?
Slow.
Slow.
So follow on Twitter.
Yeah, YouTube's doing kind of slow too, but oh well. It's not like we do anything
At
with
Offensive PC, if I remember it.
that. At Offensive PC.
Yep.
And also make sure you stop by our website, offensivepodcast.com, for our episodes when they get uploaded. Any new interesting content. Also, we're going to be starting doing some Facebook Live videos when we start seeing some funny stuff. Jason kind of brought that up this week. Should be pretty freaking good. And then next week, we're going to have a guest star on the podcast. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Good episode next week. Good episode this week. Moving forward, starting an ad campaign this week as well. So, anyways, I am joined here by Tyson. We already announced him, so screw him. Chris.
Yo.
We got Jay
Wish
here.
you could.
What's up?
Alex. And Cinnamon.
What's that?
Thought we were going with butterscotch. I was really into the idea of
I'm
butterscotch.
good with cinnamon.
I'm good with Cinnamon.
She's good with Rolo.
Mercedes.
And her tongue. Don't let her fool you.
Their tongue.
So, anyways, this week we had some interesting stuff happen to our Facebook page, thanks to Facebook and their user agreement that I didn't read. Apparently, you can't call your fans faggots.
Oh, you guys can't be our little faggots.
Can't be the faggot squad.
I miss the shenanigans.
The
Shenanigans.
What do you call? What would we even call our fans?
Well, it was the shenanigoon, actually.
Shenanigan. I have no idea.
That was really presumptuous putting a plural on there.
But so the notification I got on my phone from Facebook, it was like 6 pages long of like, this is why you can't do this, and this is why you can't do this. And you had to like make little check marks in each of the areas.
He's like, I've read this.
And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Did you
this is a
actually
nightmare.
read all of it, though?
No.
You checked that you would be like on some freaking social justice warrior group.
But I was just like, holy crap, how ridiculous is this? So yeah, 38 followers and we're already getting censored. It's amazing.
Censorship.
Censorship. But I think it's funny how it's like, check all of this, please. And it's like, who reads that? Like, who reads any user agreement with anything? I know I don't. I just click yes. I could be giving away my firstborn child. Like, as soon as they find out, like on Facebook, I'm posting pictures of wife having a baby. And it's like, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever shows up in the hospital.
Zerker.
He's like, give me your baby. What? You check the user agreement. I'm like, break. So anyways, bundle of sticks.
We're not censored on this. You can call them what you want.
Well, it's what I posted on. You don't have Facebook, so you wouldn't know. So the post got removed, so then I posted a picture of a bundle of sticks, and I was like, well, apparently we can't call our fans another word for a bundle of sticks. So here you go. Check out episode 3. Like, they deleted the link and everything.
Somebody had to have reported you.
Probably.
So we have a follower that's an SJW, is what you're saying.
Ooh, there's a traitor amongst us.
A traitor. We need
Probably a family somewhere. I'm just saying.
Alex is over here. It's me. Yup. I'm offended by the word faggot. But got some ideas to call other people like baguettes.
Baguettes.
extra cream cheese.
So yeah, we're already getting targeted, boys. So be on the lookout, especially after this ad campaign runs this weekend. Expected to reach 66 million. Freaking
We'll
nuts.
see. We'll see.
I'll have to have
Freaking
you
nuts.
text any like outraged people that put comments on there. I can't believe you guys.
Can't believe you guys said nigger. I wonder how quickly that post would get taken down. Just nigger. Nigger, episode 4. Here's the link.
Just do it as a test. What's the worst that could happen?
Have to restart our entire Facebook page.
They block the Facebook page and tag the name as inaccessible.
We'll just do the featured M as a Black Lives Matter logo, and then it'll be fine.
We niggas need to get together. Episode 4.
Everybody here's white.
Yeah, well, no. See, that's where I was going. We'll need to save that until our first episode with video, and we'll just do like really bad charcoal painting. Like leave obvious stripes, kind of like the reverse under the eye thing, like the football players. But just the rest, just pitch black.
Yo, Jamal.
Full-on
How
Robert
was your
Downey
weekend,
Jr.
Jamal?
this
Like, change
thing.
everyone's names.
What would Chris's nigger name be?
Topher.
I guess I can be Tyrese.
Tyrone.
I have no good one for me. I came up for other people's shit. You need to provide.
Lamangelo.
Drax.
No. See, that needs to be Cinnamon here and Jason.
No, she
'Cause
would
they
be
can be-
Mercedes if she was black.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Drexen's is easy. You
Spelled
just
all
use
fucked up and
D-Rex.
wrong.
D-Rex.
Shit they'd.
Shit, it's Shatheed. So,
Sorry, awkward pause here.
awkward pause.
Had a Coke delivered.
Wait,
Wait,
are
you
we
got some
talking
Coke
cola
delivered?
Or
Got
cake?
my Coke delivered.
Coke. Everybody loves a good Coke.
Good Coke in their mouth. Take a shot
Why
of
would you
Coke.
put Coke in your mouth?
Why wouldn't you put Coke in your mouth?
Because that shit dissolves meat.
Exactly. So why do you snort it next to your brain? Permeate
Because
that
it feels
stuff.
amazing.
Because it feels amazing. I wouldn't know. I've never done Coke.
What drugs have you done?
What drugs have I done? A lot of painkillers.
Painkillers isn't
The
a drug.
white,
part
the,
of
the
the
whitest drugs ever.
Part of the opiate crisis.
Part of the opiate.
Oh,
crisis.
you're so black, Topher.
Millennials.
You're so into it, Topher.
Topher's like, I'm deep. I did shrooms when I was 18.
Totally. When I started early, like 19 years old, smoking pot. And then one time, I stole one of my mom's Xanax.
That's amazing. Nah, just painkillers. Painkillers, a little bit of weed in high school. That's about it. Not that exciting of a person.
No, that's pretty boring.
Tyson
Alex?
got medicinal PCP.
Nice.
Yeah, it sucked.
Wait, PCP's not Schedule 1?
He got
No,
medicinal.
it was in the hospital.
If
in
it's
the
medicinal, then it's got to be at least Schedule 2, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because like Adderall, methamphetamine, Schedule 2.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Cocaine,
actual.
Schedule 2.
It wasn't actual PCP though. It was just like the medical does the exact same equivalent, whatever.
So
and
did
it was
every-
miserable.
Did everything go like Shutter style? It was like you were looking through a
I
black
freaked,
light all the time.
I freaked the shit out, dude. I was like, oh. He's like, all right, you're not gonna remember any of this the next day, so it won't be bad. And then it's like, take the pain, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. He won't remember any of this tomorrow. Sure as shit, I did. It still haunts my dreams.
I
Did you
walked
go
into
save
the ER.
children that had got hit by cars by
No,
lifting them
no.
off of them? Did you turn green and be like, you haven't seen me angry?
I just laid there and felt a pain scale of like 26 out of 10. It's freaking miserable.
I walk into the ER and they're like, "Do you need to know what room he's in?" I'm like, "Nope, I can hear him." And then look over at the heart rate monitor. It's like 198.
It's like, who's holding the blowtorch to his fucking feet?
Our dad's just over there shaking his head. Doctors.
We know how to make him stop hurting. Let's just blow up his heart.
Put him out of his misery.
What about you, Alex?
We told this story before. You guys' reactions are going to be all jaded. Weed, like, well, one weekend.
He's done weed
Once.
It was fucking cookies, right? And so they make up the weed butter to make the cookies out of because we'd gone to a trip where it was supposedly legal. But they fuck up there, and there's way too much weed in the butter to begin with, way more butter than needed. So they don't make cookies per se, as they make like an ice cube, like a really planty ice cube. And so we're out there at this vacation, and it was like, step number 1, you get there, park the car, make a Bloody Mary. And I probably hadn't been sober for like 3 days. not even like a period of minutes, just wasted the whole time. And they're all doing whatever, smoking, eating the edibles and whatnot. And they're like, you have to do it too. And I was like, nah, I'm good. No, you have to. It's like, fine, because I caved to peer pressure. And we get
That's
in
why
there.
he's gay.
Yeah.
That's why he's gay.
So they're like, oh, it's in the freezer. You need to go get it, because that's the first thing. Like, the house has like 25 kids in it between all of the freaking semi-poly marriages that are there with the people that we're renting the house with. And so where do we hide the weed cookies? In the freezer.
Next to the ice cream.
Yep.
Oh
Not even
my.
a joke. But so they're like, just go get some from the freezer. And yet again, never done anything before. So no one follows me there. I'm the fucking drunk guy. I've got like fifth of vodka in one hand, Bloody Mary in the other, and just going and have to figure out how I'm going to set one down to even get weed in the first place. And like I said, no one follows me in there, so I just grab the whole brick, and they're like, just have some, just bite the whole thing, just mouth full of it. I'm getting sidetracked by freaking phones here. What?
We're good. Keep going.
Anyway, so freaking just huge old mouthful of it in there. I walk back into the room where everyone else is and just chomping down there like,
That's always the best reaction when you're
They're
doing
like,
some brownies.
oh shit, this is your first time?
It's like, how much did you take? I took a brownie. That's how much. I thought that's what you were supposed to. No, you're supposed to break off like 3 crumbs. I made it really strong. It's like, no, just make a brownie. It needs to be brownie strength.
How many cookies did you eat? 3 whole cookies.
probably that much of the ice cube worth. But and then just it was followed by like hours of just paranoia. Like, we run out of stuff to make Bloody Marys, and so we're like, okay, we have to run to the liquor store. I'm like, I can't drive. what am I? How are we gonna get there? I can drive. Okay. Oh, okay. So we get there, we get to the liquor store, I find the alcohol wall, because it's not like it was like some kind of maze to go through this store. It was just 4 walls with liquor everywhere. But I find the vodka, and I stay there. Because I try and step away, and it's like, here's vodka. I need mixer. So I go to step away from it. It's like, what if they know? What if I get caught? I already had 1 DUI. That's going to be a really awkward conversation with my parents. Hey, your son's in Oregon. So I go back to the vodka wall. And it's like that for the rest of the night, just waiting for other people to find me so that they can, like, shepherd me back to the safe space, right? Because apparently when you shake and bake, you turn into a millennial.
It really is the worst way to get baked for the first time. When you're fucking drunk, they give you the spins so bad.
And it's not that I was, like,
It's like
dizzy.
not the same drug.
I wasn't nauseous. It was just paranoia. That's all it felt like. Really lightheaded paranoia. Plus, I couldn't make a good drink after that. Got all the measurements fucked
Couldn't
up.
taste a drink after that.
I only did edibles one time, and I did not like it by any means.
I way like edibles. I like edibles more than smoking.
See, the funniest thing I ever seen was we were over at my buddy's house, and we were blowing smoke into his dog's face, and then stuck peanut butter on his spoon and watching his dog licking out the spoon. Funniest thing ever, you get a bunch
And
of
then they put
stone
peanut butter on his.
On the quote unquote air quote spoon.
Get a bunch of high 16-year-olds just like with spoon on the peanut butter. Dude, dogs' tongues are hilarious.
That's a clip.
Yeah, they're hilarious
Cut
when
that.
they're up your asshole looking for the peanut butter.
It's okay as long as he finds it.
What about you, Chris? What's your drug story?
I've got so many.
For one from last week.
I haven't done it in a while because I have a job now.
He's a responsible adult.
So I can't go lose my job because they're the ones paying my health insurance right now.
There you go.
But let's see. I don't have any like, oh, hey, this is the one and only time I've done anything that I can think of.
Because it's a lot of time.
There's a lot of time. And it's like, I can't really talk about the time I was doing. It's like, oh yeah, I was doing ecstasy for like the 50th time, and let's see, what's some good ones? I lost my virginity on ecstasy. At a rave.
What?
He fucking lost his
I
virginity.
hope to a female.
Like at all?
Ouch.
Was she on
Shut the
X?
fuck
Was
up,
she on
Cinnamon.
X too?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like only you were, and you were like, "That was so good," and she was like, "That was so bad."
He's just like slowly humping her. Oh.
Well, it would have been hard to fuck a chick in public if she wasn't rolling. And then I thought I got away with it because it was kind of like under the stage, and I didn't get away with it at all. Like I looked at a bulletin board later, and like the Utah rave bulletin board, and
Nice.
everyone was like, "Hey, did anyone else catch those guys fucking under the stage?" It's like, shit.
My last experience with ecstasy, and I never did it, but it was when I was in the military. There's this kid. He had terminal testicular cancer. He got it when he was in. So he's just getting discharged, and he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. And so I'm asleep one night, right? I wake up to this kid on top of me rubbing my face. He's like, "Your face is so soft." I'm like, "Dude, what's going on?" I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like,
As he was slowly humping you.
"Oh, your blanket, what?" And then he just kind of walks down the hallway, rubbing his hands on the wall.
That's
Oh,
how
the
it goes.
ripples. And I'm like, what is up with him? He's like, oh, he just got back from a rave. He snuck out. He snuck off base, went to a rave, got high, and came back. Somehow made his way back. Like, just
You don't get confused when you're on E. Like I could find my way home anywhere. It was just you lose the incentive to get there.
get this. His last name was Wisdom.
What's up, Wisdom?
That's a perfect rave name.
It is. That was my last experience with it. I was like, holy crap, no.
Dude, ecstasy's a lot of fun. If I was gonna ruin myself on a drug, that would be the one.
Yeah.
So good.
My drug story is like 4.5 months into a 9-month solid bender. And that involved a lot of vodka, and then I smoked some weed laced with PCP, and then I decided it would be a good idea to drop acid later that night. Needless to say, I found myself like walking down the sidewalk on what's Main Street, and I see what I only logically can guess was a boat being pulled behind a truck. But there was like no truck, and there was a boat just floating down the road, and the road was like waking out onto the sidewalk.
So you had to jump onto the grass so you didn't get your feet wet.
Dude, you're probably like that kid that I got in the jail right now where I hold my hands up like a phone. I'm like, ring, 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 ring. And he picks up the phone on the other side of the window. He's like, sup?
So how about you, Cinnamon?
I was a good kid. You guys need Jesus.
Bullshit.
There's got to be a specific story with some amphetamines.
No. First time I smoked pot, I smoked a lot of it with my brother. It was disgusting. I actually don't like pot. But I got called into work, and my mom was my boss.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I got high as fuck, and she made me lay down in a cement bathroom. She just like
Sounds like the
flicked
saw.
water at my face, and my mom's an old pothead, so she knew exactly what I fucking did. She thought I got into her stash, and she just screamed at me the whole time. But
I just spent
I did
$20 this
not.
week.
I don't know. Jason's story kind of reminded me of a good acid story. It was the only time I've been on drugs and I was convinced I was going to die. So we go. It was a New Year's party, and so me and another 2 guys from here go out to Salt Lake to some friends of mine, and we're partying along, getting just completely hammered. I got really shit faced. I was like on the verge of passing out as the party was winding down, and then one of my buddies comes up and he's like, "Hey, so this is my last party, right?" And I'm like, "Why? What's up?" And he's like, "Well, I'm joining the Air Force. So, this is my last hurrah before I get in the military." And I'm like, "Cool. So, yeah, right on." He's like, "So, do you want to do some acid with me?" And I was like, "Yes."
Not even a question about it. Do you want to do some acid? Yes. Didn't even finish the word.
So I'm expecting him to pull out like some blotter or, something. What he pulls out was, I shit you not, a bottle like this.
He's holding up his like e-juice bottle.
Yeah.
It looks like a
fucking
giant
dripper and all.
an eyedropper,
It was
eyedropper.
probably a 60 milliliter bottle with an eyedropper
Crap.
full of liquid. I don't know how pure it was because
Usually
that shit's
squoze a lithium battery there.
usually that shit when it's coming like that is really fucking pure. So he's
yeah.
like, "All right,
You just need to touch the tip of the syringe to your tongue.
So I'm like, all right, hit me. So I think he pulls out the eyedropper. I think he's gonna, drop a couple drops on my tongue. Fucking squirts the whole thing in my mouth. And then one of the other guys that came from Vernal with me also gets the squirt, and we start
And later
in
too.
our mouths. About 3 minutes later, I'm no longer anything approaching drunk, and I'm wide awake and frying harder than I've ever fried before. And, by this time, he's passed it around, so the party's back on. Party through the night, get up in the morning, and I make breakfast for everybody. And
the neighbors.
And the neighbors. And then the third guy, who was our driver, he wakes up because he had gone to bed. He had found a room and passed out, dead sober, passed out about 3 minutes after midnight.
Nice.
He wakes up and he comes in. He's like, "I want to go home right now." So we're going home right now because I'm the driver. And we're like, "But we're on acid. We can't go home right now." And he's like, "Well, then you can find a new way home." And we're like, "All right, I guess we're going home right now." And we pile in the car. We both of us that are on acid get in the back seat. And about 2 minutes into the drive, we're both convinced we're going to die. This guy drives like a fucking maniac. We're like screaming. It's like, "Dude, you realize we're high? You can't fucking drive like that." And he's like, "I'll drive how I want." Like he's driving down the mid. Like he's like, "There's no other cars. It doesn't matter if I'm fading into other lanes." So
Really, he's in a 25-mile-an-hour zone.
no, he was driving like a maniac for reals.
I would too if you were high in my backseat.
He wasn't
I'm like,
doing
"Deer!"
it.
and
He
like
wasn't
swerve the
trying to
vehicle.
fuck with us either. This is just how he drives.
Jeez.
And we ended up making him stop at every possible stop. So, Park City, we make him get
jeez.
out. We go into the Walmart in Park City.
Just touching everything.
We're just no, it was acid. I don't need to touch things.
I know, but you're just like, what? Picking up stuff, looking at it.
No experience with acid, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just walking along. I think the only thing after this that's funny is I don't know why this was so funny either, but like we're walking out and we start walking down an aisle and there's like big mounds of snow between the aisles of vehicles, and all of a sudden I realize it's like, wait, our car's in that other aisle. It's over that snow. Fuck that snow. And so we planted ourselves, lit up cigarettes, and made that kid walk around and pick us up like a chauffeur. Then he drives us back. We're stopping every 15, 20 miles to get out, smoke a cigarette, because we're convinced any minute now he is going to crash us into something. Get home, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't think I'd survive that. Now I got to deal with being high for the next 12 hours. I just went down and locked myself in my bedroom. I was just like, I'm really tired. So I just go down and put on a laser light and kind of freak out for a while.
Just zoinked.
So, Tyson, what happened last week after we ended the recording? What was that text message you got?
What text message? I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember
The guy
that?
in Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did he text us? Was that actually on the podcast?
No,
No.
that was after. Let me
Was
see if
there
I can-
more
let
to
me See
it?
if I can find. No, just what you.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, there was just some random text me, and he's like, "Hey, Steve-O." I'm like, "Okay, just some random number." So I answered back. I'm like, "What's up, my nigga?" And he's like, "Hey, me and Nelson going south tomorrow to find some nugs, and ain't having any luck. You know of any?" And so I proceed to ask him if he's like close to Billings, and then
It's because we looked up the area
we
code
looked
to
up
the
the
phone
area
number.
code and stuff, and I directed him to the police department in Billings, Montana.
You close to Billings?
And as
Yeah,
soon as I
like
gave
8
him-
hours away.
As soon as I gave him that address, he didn't answer back.
Good stuff. So, Alex, are you gonna finish telling us about your failed three-way?
Finished telling you. I didn't start telling you guys about it. The idea struck me when I got home from last week's recording because you guys were all like, "Ooh, you have to tell us an awkward relationship story," and I'm like, "Fuck, I can't remember."
Everyone's awkward.
Right?
Everyone's awkward.
Yeah, they're all awkward. But you put me on the spot, and I couldn't get it up in time. So, but
When the chick's harder than I am.
right? But, get home, I'm on the crapper, and then it strikes me, because that's, obviously where you remember all failed three ways. This isn't like a failed three-way like I tried to initiate one. The story here isn't actually about my sordid sex life when I was in high school. It's about just how oblivious I was to all the little clues. Like, I'm still pretty bad about it, but in high school it was way worse. And so I'm just remembering this story because it wasn't even like during school. This was
Okay,
during.
I want to stop you for a second,
What?
though. What are the clues nowadays? Like, how does a gay guy hit on another gay guy?
Does he stick his finger through his zipper and go, like wiggle his finger back and forth?
I'm a shut-in. I don't know. At parties, you'd probably know more than me.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we've already got more stories of you waking up with another man on top of you than I have. So,
Fair
true.
enough.
It's true.
Yeah, it was a pass. It was in the military.
Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Exactly. Gotta find it where you can get it. You're with a bunch of dudes. Probably showered with more guys than you have.
right? But
It's really, you can tell who's gay in the military when you're all in the shower. And you just kind of look around and you're like, oh, he's got a boner. Faggot.
He's dropped the soap like 6 times.
Oops.
Oh, I just can't pick it up.
Sorry, guys. One hand spreading
I'm so
that
clumsy
asshole open, the
today.
other hand's slipping around on the floor looking for the soap. Gives you a wink. Bead of
seeing himself
sweat's
with his
going
2
down his-
fingers, just spreading it as wide as he can get it.
Dude, our drill
It winks
instructors.
at you. Its tongue comes out. Yeah, his asshole's tongue comes out. His prolapse whistles you forward.
It's like,
Questioning your sexuality right now.
Jason's fantasizing out
Dude.
loud.
Dude, that was
this
a little
one
well
time,
rehearsed.
so we didn't shower quick enough, and our drill instructors all made us go up against the wall, and he's like, towels in the air. So we took our towels from around our waist and held them up in the air. He's like, nuts to butts. And we're like, what? And he just like smashes all of us together. He's like, now you're a bunch of fucking faggots. Manly now, huh? And like, don't you like it? We're all sitting there trying to like block people's dicks from going in between our cheeks and stuff. He's like, no, take it. You better take it, boy. And you're like, no, oh my gosh, and whatnot. And then there's the one.
Trexon had the biggest, blackest guy right behind him.
There's the one kid in the middle, like backing up.
Hey, you guys.
He's like, joining the military is the greatest thing ever.
Okay, sorry to derail your
Anyways,
story.
continue.
Sorry, I'm giggling for a little bit just because I know he's talking about other people in the military there.
Air quotes again.
Right. Yeah, they can hear it in my voice. But either way, back to where I was. Have to get back in the mood here, apparently. But no, this was like during a summer break. This is when we still lived back in Naples, right? And so I've already set up plans for the weekend. Like, I'm driving up to go hang out with some other buddies. Well, a buddy in particular, who happens to be a girl, and that's important for later in the story.
Okay.
Because I'm driving there, and I get a call, and it's not from my friend. It's not even from anybody I really know, right? It's from my friend's current boyfriend, who I've heard about but never even spoken to.
He's heard he's gay through the chain.
No, I know they're gay. There's no hearing through the chain. I knew exactly what was going on. I just had never met the person before, right? And so
Okay.
at first I'm like, what the fuck is this number? And, whatever, because I'm bad and I talk on my phone when I'm driving. So I picked that up. I'm just like, hey, who the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, this is. Yeah, I'm just calling because me and we were wanting to. Oh, you're gonna have to cut names. Sorry. Here's my name's
Jack.
Butterscotch.
My name's Jack.
Me
Jack
and
Mehoff.
Cinnamon. We're thinking of having a party, and we were kind of wondering, like, if you were interested in coming and hanging out with the two of us, maybe we could have ourselves a little bit of a three-way. And I'm thinking he's joking, right? And so, I'm playing along thinking that they are joking. So I'm like, oh, sure, that sounds fun. I'm down to party. I've got some stuff right now, but I'll be there in, an hour, give or take. So I finish. I go over to my friend's house. I pick her up. We're hanging out for a little bit, and I'm like, hey, there's this party going on. Do you want to come? So we drive out there because they live out on a little ranch, kind of a closed space area here, right? And we park and go up and knock on the door, and they answered butt ass naked, and it was just oh, you were being serious. Oh, well, this is really. I brought my friend. I'm not sure she's into this.
No, what he said is, I brought my friend, and his dick goes, oh, and then you're like, I'm not sure she's serious about this. Oh.
Right? And so I think we gotta go now. This is awkward. So sorry. And then we fucking drive away. But I mean that's the story, right? Because that's the epitome of me not getting the hint. Just like the one time in biology class with the other kid asking me to come tutor him, and that he had some schnapps he had stolen from his parents. I don't even fucking know what schnapps were at the time. I was thinking it was just like, oh, it's juice. Okay, that's cool. That's manly, I guess. I thought he was legit looking for help with biology because I'm a whiz at it, right?
He was looking for help with his biology.
Right? But yeah, no, that was my story. Now you got an awkward relationship story. Do you feel better, Jason?
Sure. Yeah.
Did you ever? Oh my gosh!
Tyson has to pee.
I got a tinkle.
Just go.
It's bigger than that.
Just go.
Come on.
You don't actually stick it in the
Aim
can.
that bad?
You can get the tip in, but you can't
You
pull it
never know
out.
if you got some residue up in there. You get a wild spray.
You cut wrong?
What's that?
Were you cut wrong?
Haven't you ever had sex residue up in there?
Fucking what?
You get a
Sex
little bit
residue?
Of you get a little bit of dried jizzyman up in there, and then
What are you doing? Fucking a cheesecake?
How'd you have to piss?
Apparently, you never had sex before. You never got a wild spray after.
No, because I fucking take a piss after I'm done.
What? Do you
You
like
let it
clean the
dry.
demons out of you or something?
No, it's just
You freaking
after
weirdo.
you come, you usually have to piss.
It's not like
So I go take care
It's
of
not
it.
like taking a shit. You don't have to piss afterwards automatically.
Wait, you have to take a shit right after automatically?
The thing
Knock
I'm running
something
in in my mind here is like, you guys wait until afterwards?
No wonder you don't have a guy. Always peeing in his butt.
He's got the most terrible mental image.
Like some big humpback
Alex, just do
whale
the-
on top of something else. Just okay, I'm good now.
You got to get the little shiver.
Oh, you came so much, but it's so runny. I didn't come.
Doesn't get the golden showers. It's the golden dribbles out the butt.
Why is there corn running down my leg? You just
Who
got
needs
an
an
enema.
who needs an anal douche when you can just piss clean yourself out? You're golden.
It's called a
Just weird
fag
things
enema.
Tyson's life is definitely a lot more interesting than he lets on,
It
right?
tickles the prostate.
Just gives it a blast to the stream right on the power button. Launch sequence initiated. Freaking heck. Go to the bathroom.
All right, I gotta go take
As
a
a
pee.
disclaimer, no, you never.
We're just
pee
gonna
in
keep
the
going
ass.
when you
Just like you never go ass to mouth. Except
Except for when
maybe in the
you're-
heat of the moment.
Except for when you're 8 years old, right?
It's funny because all those stories were told from the other perspective.
Right? Mutual acquaintance spilled the
What
beans
about
on
you,
Alex.
Portia? You ever go ass to mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the heat
Is
of the
this
moment?
news to? Is this?
No, he knows.
He knows.
From first-hand experience? Oh, you like
I
my
don't know why
brother's
there's such like a
butthole.
weird
So
stigma
gross.
around
How
that.
could he kiss you afterwards?
He does.
So she won't share dildos,
No.
but she'll go ass to mouth and French kiss afterwards.
Well, it's not like it's like the end of the workday where he's got swass. Like, you shower up, you get ready.
It's not so much about the swass as it is about the chocolate chip cookies.
Besides, we're taking this story all the
he
way
doesn't
wrong. What
have,
she's
like-
talking about is after she's done with the strap on, he licks it off.
Look at that.
I was thinking that's what's going on with Tyson. Where he's like, you don't have to shit afterwards? I'm just so loose.
It all just falls out.
Alex, you're missing all the cues apparently from Tyson.
Right?
When he comes back in, so do
He was
you and
like-
Tana need a second baseman?
Don't bring a date to this one.
Right?
He's gonna come back. He's like, I said I was going to the bathroom, and gives you a direct stare.
Come join me?
See, and I was thinking more like when he gets back in here, it'd be so.
Do gay
Was
guys
it
go to the
as,
bathroom together like girls?
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Do gay guys go to the bathroom like hold hands and go to the bathroom together like girls? Do?
Faggots do.
Tell me the difference.
Yeah, what's the difference between a gay man and a faggot?
See, we were going to save this one, not so much for doing like another actual recorded episode of Alex's 10 Rules. I was going to try and do a blog post on it, right? For the difference between, a respectable gay man and a faggot.
Well, don't give it all away, but you can supplement it with that now.
I'll just use the same thing that I was saying I was going to do for the header picture on that one. Have a picture of like Sir Ian McKellen and Chris Crocker. There you go. That's your difference.
Okay, I have no idea who either of those two are.
Magneto.
Is Sir Ian McKellen.
So Captain Picard? No.
Yeah, he's also.
He is also, but not the same actor.
Okay. I don't know actors at all.
You didn't watch any of the X-Men movies?
I don't know. I had a seizure between now and then.
Okay, then.
Short-term
yeah, I
or
did.
long-term memory loss?
I get who you're
Good
talking
to
about,
know.
yeah.
And then as far as Chris Crocker, you're just going to have to look him up online because there really is no way for me to describe him except for like maybe like the one big thing of like his whole scenes of, leave Brittany alone. She's such a hard worker. Jason's is bigger than ours.
I have like the fucking half a 2-liter of Mountain Dew handed to me.
Tyson
amazing.
brought back dildos.
So this is what I'm talking about, how I have to shit afterwards, guys. Got to work your way up from the Mountain Dew kickstart to the Mountain Dew leader. So, how was your bathroom break?
It was delightful.
Miss anybody?
Number 1 or number 2?
Not the toilet.
He hit who exactly he was aiming for, though. Do we need to have an intervention here? Do we need to get the kids in here and see which one of them's a little bit moist?
Anyways, moving on to our next segment. So I found a news article. We won't read it, but I do have the title of it. And it is, a U.S. Army doctor returns arm to Vietnamese soldier 50 years after he took it as a souvenir. There's a picture of this old white man holding a skeletonized arm from a Vietnamese soldier.
Is
that
it
he
really a skeleton arm?
Yeah, look at it.
Holy
There's still like
shit.
flesh hanging off of it.
What the
What the
crap?
hell's he doing with that? the
He was
entire
keeping
time?
it
It's
as
like
a
back
souvenir.
scratcher.
No, it was on the
Halloween
mantle in a
decoration.
place of honor.
It's the third wheel.
No. That takes a
Tickles his
stranger
wife.
to a whole new level.
That's what I was about to say.
He rubbed all the skin off. He's like, I'm done.
His wife's like, I'm thinking about Chinese tonight. He's like, how about a little bit of Vietnamese?
No, Vietnamese makes me gassy.
See, at the start of the story, I'm just imagining sexual healing starts playing, and then all of a sudden just and it stops.
What?
No, it makes me get. Never mind.
It's a reference you missed from earlier. We were talking about Far Cry.
Yeah. But I wonder how that conversation went. Like, how'd the two even meet up again?
I'm sorry, I stole your arm.
You're just walking around looking for one armed 60-year-old Vietnamese guy.
Hey, did you lose your arm in the war? There's like 6 of them that come walking out of
I
the
was gonna say,
street.
there's probably a hell of a lot of them there.
Craigslist.
But look at the freaking look on this dude's face. He's just laughing.
Fucking happy.
He's laughing hysterically. He's like, haha, you took my arm, but I killed your buddy. He cried like a bitch.
That is the worst accent again.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Crying for his mother.
Don't even know.
I can't even describe what it sounds like, but it doesn't sound like a Vietnamese accent.
Well, do your Vietnamese accent.
No, I can't do one, so I don't try.
All right, Tyson, let's hear your big dick wang.
What?
We're like, got a big dick wang.
What?
Yeah, you do it all the time. Your little Chinese accent.
What did it do?
There you go. There you go.
No, it just sounds like a cowboy.
That sounds like a cowboy. What cowboy movies have you been watching?
Brokeback Mountain.
I didn't even have to supply it for him. He admitted it himself. It's better that way.
Is that like a fantasy story for you?
No, that's awful. That movie is terrible.
Really?
You couldn't even masturbate to it more than once.
Not
More
even
than 5
once.
times.
Like, it almost got hard, and then it didn't.
You didn't just do it while it was flaccid till it just kind of, just like gave you a courtesy cum?
It kind of just dribbles.
What did they do it too lovingly? It wasn't violent enough for you? Not enough choking?
It could have used more choking.
Fair enough.
Truth
Face.
comes out.
You've got ropes, use them.
Spurs,
Whip
whatever.
me, baby.
I didn't even see one wrangling episode there.
Whip
Not
me
even
on
one.
the ass.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm sure in that movie they had 3 knives and a gun.
Were
And they should have
also
shot each other in
compensating
the
like
head.
Tyson?
My boot knife stood erect.
It's like, I
They
gotta carry a gun that's so big I can't conceal it, and I gotta keep one in the chamber.
They
Y'all know
should have
he's
had a
compensating.
suicide pact.
A suicide pact. What would their suicide pact be?
Blow loads in each other and then blow their heads off.
Jesus.
Wow, that went dark real quick.
Fucking over here like, I hate life. I'm going to listen to Slipknot, guys. We're not doing a podcast anymore.
Just gonna leave that one there. Just gonna leave that one there.
Dude, you just derailed everything. You're a fuck.
Oh, that was amazing. Dude, it broke the scale on the recording.
Nice. Drippy.
That was like one of those dry burps, no moisture to it, just ripped it open. So, Cinnamon, you haven't said much tonight.
I'm just waiting for you guys to be funny.
Just waiting for.
Oh, what a
Rip.
burn.
Really? You just had to drop that bomb on
She's
us.
egging you on.
What do you want me to say?
Something funny, apparently.
Something funny.
I really don't want you to say anything. Your mouth
Okay.
could be put to better uses.
Since
Like what?
since this episode has kind of a sexual context to it, how was it hooking up with Jason again after 14 years?
It was good.
Was it just
Wow,
like
that-
you remembered?
So her mouth says it was
Had he
good,
gotten
but she has to
better or
sneer
worse?
first.
Turns her face is like, it was good.
It was everything I dreamed of.
Ugh. You must have weird dreams.
I do.
She loves Vienna sausages.
Okay.
But really,
why-
you're not
why
answering
do
the
you
question.
guys
Was
keep
it
doing
better
that?
or worse?
So when I first met Tyson, he immediately told me that he had a small dick. When I first met Drexen, he immediately told me he had a small dick. Like, why do you guys keep telling me how your fucking dick size is? Well, it's like, hi,
They're
I'm
just
Tyson.
waiting for you,
I have a small dick. I just gotta get that out of the way.
They're just
Out
waiting
of the way
for you to
itself, but-
argue, right? So that you can get your hand in there
But
and prove
why?
them wrong. Free hand jobs.
No, I don't give a fuck.
And so when you're like, well, you got a small dick, be like, yeah, I already told you that.
It was incredibly awkward.
The first.
Because Jason doesn't have a small dick until
Yes.
like, you two are introducing yourselves with small dicks.
See, rule number 1 that we all figured out a long time ago when we were hanging out together is you have to make the joke about yourself first.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is what happens when you're picked on kids in high school, right? You learn to just like self-deprecate, and then nobody can deprecate on you.
I didn't go to high school.
You were a picked on kid that was defecated on in high school?
That's
You
what I
poor
heard.
bastard.
Dude, the stories
see-
I've heard about Jason from my coworkers that went to high school with him, holy crap.
Stop bullying America.
Are you sure you're talking about coworkers and not clients?
Coworkers.
Fellow jail inmates.
No, coworkers.
All your coworkers were the people that got freaking picked on in high school.
No, so like
Yeah.
the one that lives down the street from you, he's all like, I remember being in a computer class with Jason, and he's like, hey, look at this. There's porn on his computer, and then the teacher's coming over, and he's like, oh shit, trying to close out the window.
Nice.
And he's like, that's who your brother is. You're nothing like him. I'm like, thanks. Thanks, I try not to be. Just kidding, I'm actually a lot like my brothers.
I know.
You're all
Everybody says it.
autistic.
Acoustic.
Acoustic.
We all are immunized.
You all had a lot of shots when you were growing up.
Took a bunch of aluminum to the brain. Dude, I swear, if my wife ever says we're not immunizing our kids, divorced.
If you don't immunize them, they turn into a gay.
Everybody looks at Alex.
Alex had a
I
shitload
had
of shots.
lots of shots as a kid. I'm
Can't
kinda
you
more-
tell?
Back of the throat.
Alex loves insertion.
No.
Penetration
Shots are
on the back of
worst
the
thing
arm.
ever.
Not as much.
Penetration on the back.
No. The only shot I remember is one time when we had this, just the place where we were living kind of had this field behind it, right? And so it had some broken down buildings. Yeah, it's leading into that kind of story. No, we're breaking away from the awkward sexual tension episode and going into the weird medical story episode here. And for some reason, mostly because I was probably a retarded kid, all of us are to some degree. It was the funnest thing in the world to go out to where this barn was because it had just a bunch of broken down boards and shit back there with nails sticking out of them. Stand on them and spin
Nice.
really fast. Right up until the one time that the nail finally worked its way through the shoe and my foot. And so, like,
That's when he realized he was Jesus.
right? No, and so freaking I come back to the house screaming my head off, dragging a board behind me because I just had a nail through my
Like a
foot.
fucking
Jesus.
ski.
Like a fucking ski.
Yeah, like a sideways ski. Right? And so of course mom rushes me to the doctors to go get a new tetanus shot because it had been too long since my booster or whatever, and it was worrisome that I was gonna get lockjaw. You know? But
That'd be terrible for your relationships.
Or wonderful, depending on which way it locked.
You can insert, but you can never pull out.
scrapes the skin right off because the teeth are just far
I
enough
told
apart.
you no teeth. And trying to start it again.
But no, like they get me into the doctor's office, and I'm young enough that the doctor, you know, well, maybe it's more like the story. He must have thought I actually was mentally disabled because my mom has told him that I don't like to have injections, right? And so he's like, okay, well, we can either put him in here in the hospital for a couple days and hook him up to an IV, or we can give him an SHOT. And I just flip out. Like, I jump off the table and start throwing the
Pulls his
frickin-
pants back up and says, "You ain't touching me."
It's like, I know how to spell, shithead.
No, that is exactly what I was.
not that
Jump off the
important.
table and start just throwing all the medical equipment that are on the counters.
Just
throw
screaming
random-
like an autistic
I know what a
child.
shot is!
He's having a complete Spurg moment. He's like, I'm not retarded. I know what it means.
So they have to get that doctor, one of the other doctors inside. One of the other doctors inside the office, and two of the nurses in there. Each one of them has a limb just holding me down on the table as someone else is giving me
He's slowly
the shot.
getting harder and harder.
That's when he realized he was into it.
Yeah, no, shots suck. You're gonna love this one, right? You can pull out all that you want. You just can't push it in. to counter your other statement because it's not needles, right? Drawing blood is just fine. It's when you push fluid back in.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, I think on that note, that's where we're gonna end this podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been a good time. Good episode, everybody.
You're welcome.
If you haven't already, go to our Facebook page, give us a like and a follow there so you can keep up to date of when our episode's going to be recorded / uploaded. You can find our episodes at offensivepodcast.com, or you can go to the iTunes store, the podcast app, and or Google Play. Find it there. Also, give us a 5-star rating and a comment. Tell us what you think. As well, if you want to get a behind-the-scenes look at kind of what we're doing, follow us on Instagram. Look at the photos there. We have a good time there. And then Twitter. What's Twitter, Ty?
Offensive PC.
Offensive PC. Then I'll just throw in my gaming plugs. I'm also known as Shift Marine Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. Go ahead, subscribe to me there. I do live streams kind of sporadically throughout the week due to my work schedule. And Osh, you streaming at all? Ty?
Nope, I'm a slacker.
He's a slacker. Anyways, huge shout out to for joining us this episode. Not Cinnamon, cut that out. Cut! Huge shout out to Mercedes for joining us.
Just bleep it.
Thanks,
I'm just gonna bleep
Butterscotch.
it. I'm just going to bleep it.
Mercedes that bends.
Thanks for hopping on the extra mic and breaking it in. It was a good time. And as always, everybody, keep doing what you're doing.
Later.
See ya.
Deuces.